Good, everybody. Still here. Daily Market Pulse. It's now a new week, new month, September 2nd, 2014, Tuesday. So, long weekend is over. We ended a week and a month. Start a new week and new month, and of course, the last month of the third quarter. A little bit of choppiness, a little bit of weirdness just because of how they negotiate weeks, but also long weekends and months and month ends as well in terms of the account balancing. So things were mixed in higher volume after the long weekend. People were coming back and trading, so that volume was up. The S&P was only down like about a tenth of a percent, so it's not enough to create a distribution day. But we'll certainly have to reevaluate maybe as time goes on with all the data is completely and to see if those are actually fully accurate. That's the way I believe it should stand going forward. And so now we look at the Dow Jones. It's essentially sideways, a little bit of a red candle, but you still see the polarities there. Resistance with the 8 moving average directly below and about 17,000 is continued support. 20 is rising now, 50 is barely rising, but we're looking a little stronger. The stochastic's already reset, so we're looking for a breakout above this to go into 17,000 plus, but mostly 17,300 or so, maybe 250. Everything's still looking very strong and bullish overall with a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of profit taking for the last several days, which is not unusual. Same thing here with the S&P. It's kind of sideways, holding 8 moving average, holding above 1985 and holding 2000 as well. That was the target initially. It's kind of just fluctuated and hovered right at 2000. Makes sense, big round number, but look at the room above to 2040, 2060. There's a lot of room above there still, and that's what we're still looking for with the support across 1985, at least initially. The Nasdaq was one that was green, so we have mix where the S&P Dow were down, but the Nasdaq was green. So a little bit of a pop up, higher near session high as well. Room still above and beyond. It's at 4,600 now. Room still to go much higher still. Everything looking strong. The stochastic got already reset itself and coming back up again, so that looks pretty good still. The TSX will be next. Everything's still fine, holding across 16.5, but more like 15.6 more so, and going sideways almost 2 weeks straight weeks now, but holding the eight moving average with room now to 15,800. All still looks good. Stochastics reset. Everything looks just fine. The German DAX is still trapped between the declining 50 and the rising 20, holding the 8 moving averages for now and above the 9,400 original resistance, and then now support with the target at 96 still, and then above 96 is going to be 98. We're still looking on the long side there. Let's take a look at some of the currency. US dollar, Canadian dollar came back, formed a hammer the other day, pushed off the 50-day moving average. Here also stuck between moving averages, the 20 and the 8, as well as the 50 below. This last candle is actually yesterday's candle. I don't know if we've got data for today. No, we don't yet. So still stuck, looking trapped, but still maybe a possibility of a long side move here following that hammer. The Euro US is still looking weak, looking to go downside. 131 was a target. It kind of did that. We're still looking for the possibility of a test of 131, then eventually a bounce. There is a window above, however, at 132, so that will be the target at least initially. I've got Treasuries as a September contract, but I'm going to move this over to actually a December contract here now. That's still, a big drop today. I'm going to move it over to a December contract going forward here. Let me do that right away and see if that doesn't come out fine or not here. Let's see what happens. There it is. So that candle, I believe, will get bigger. There it is. So there's a little bit of a pause. And there's the drop to the 20. That's about what we're looking for, looking at as well. That's pretty accurate right there. This should go more like here. There. There's your resistance across there. The pullback, the trend is still up, as you can see, so everything looks fine and intact. No worries there just yet, but a good strong pullback. Possibility of dropping to 137 next. Let's go to the yen. Yen had bounced, came into the 8 moving average, and then just absolutely got crushed. But look at the divergence. Very strong positive divergence. I'm looking for a huge reversal here. It's at 95 now. Broke through the support of the gold line. It's coming into this whole support area now. So I'm looking for a fairly sizable bounce and rejection here. Let's see where we want to put this thing. Put it right there. So that's where we are, and I think this actually just looks like for a bounce right here with this divergence and the support area based on that pivot area that we saw on the other side of the chart here. Gold and silver next. Gold fading, silver fading. There is the channel that gold currently is in. That is not the correct candle. There it is. There's the big sell-off. And room to 1250 to 1255 and possibly much lower like 1240 on the short side. But this is do or die right now. It's got to come back up through 12.8, 12.85 on a crack and snap, or it's going lower. It needs to happen quick. And same thing with silver. Silver's back down to the low 19s with room still to 1860, 1870 on the downside. Crude also. Crude, as it loads here. Remember, I had a nice bounce last week into the 20, into 96. And a big fade back to retest 93, but this is, do or die here as well. It's got to hold 93 or it's fading toward 90 to 91. Small caps in terms of risk on, just like the NASDAQ popped right into 117, 117 and a quarter. That was the original target. Next one will be like 118 plus, but more like 120, 50 to 121. That's where we're looking for an ultimate target. The 50 is still flat. The 8 has now crossed through, which is strengthening the short-term trend. 20 is now about to cross the 200 as well. So everything's getting stronger day by day, week by week here. So we're still looking for more upside. There could be some chop in the meantime, but you're still looking at the ultimate upside move on this. The VIX, as a result of some of the selling earlier, especially on the S&P and the Dow Jones, we're seeing that the VIX had actually popped into 1350, but also faded right back to 1250. Support across 12 still remains. Resistance across 1350 still remains. Moving average, as you can see, 20 is declining below the 200. 50 is just right there flat, as is the 8. So looking for some choppiness in between those moving averages until something gets resolved.